Heyo, 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 heyo. We're live. Locked and loaded, or maybe up and loaded, you know. How can I point? I guess I would need my camera to be shifted. Like if I did this, I can go, we're up and loaded. That's what you call cross promotion. Not really. That's not really an example of cross promotion, but we are live. And yeah, I guess I should make this a show. I guess I should do something. But I'm always kind of hesitant about doing anything before there's any viewers. So, of course, you know, we've got a high bar. Last time I said, you know, we'll aim for a couple thousand viewers. This time we'll aim a little bit higher. We're gonna aim for we'll do the 5 digits, okay? Tens of thousands of viewers. We're gonna build our way up every time, okay? We'll get tens of thousands, and then hundreds of thousands, millions, and so on and so forth. We'll go all the way up to billions, and of course, eventually, trillions of people watching live. Now, there are not trillions of people living on this earth as we know it, but I think if we practice making these people, we can have enough people to watch this show live. I mean, we can have at least 1 trillion, all right? I want to be the first show to have 1 trillion viewers live. So that's what we're going to do. Let me just get my chat box here ready. It looks like we already got a first viewer. Congrats, you are the first viewer of, I was going to say of 1 trillion, but 1 trillion is going to take us a little bit longer to achieve because, as I mentioned, we do not currently have 1 trillion people on this planet. But it's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a fun show. I've got all kinds of excuses lined up for you. So I hope you're looking forward to that. And if you have any thoughts or feelings or questions, feel free to jump in anytime. Anytime at all. All right? Just want to make that clear. You are welcome to speak in, you know, typing fashion. Because if you talk out loud, I'm not going to be able to hear you. It's just the way the world works, I guess. That's science, physics, what have you. But thanks for joining. We got lots to talk about today. Well, we got a handful of things to talk about. I won't bore you with too much show. All right, Fortnite. Epic wants me to buy something here. Fortnite, Save the World. The Save the World PvE campaign is in paid early access with microtransactions. They're advertising. They're saying that like it's a good thing. Hold on. Early access means it's still in development with bugs and balance issues. If that's not for you, Save the World will be free in 2018. Do I want to pay? Do I want to pay for early access and the opportunity to pay for more microtransactions so I can beta test their game? Nah, no thanks, Epic. I'm not surprised. I can't say I blame them for trying to pull that kind of shit, but no thanks. No thanks. I don't want to be a paid beta tester. You know, what's funny is that companies used to pay people to beta test, and, you know, they still do, but no, I'm not going to pay Epic to be a beta tester. The reason I say I don't blame them for trying this kind of crap is because this game generates at least tens of millions of dollars for Epic per day. So it's a cash cow. So anytime they could squeeze, I mean, they know that people are willing to pay them out the behind. So anytime that they can squeeze as much dollars as they possibly can, they're gonna. If they can take advantage, they're gonna. So that's an example of that. Sup, cool man? Cool man. Sup? Do you guys like how I type the words that I'm saying out loud at the same time? Let me know. Comment section. To your right or below, depending on how you're watching. Okay, so I must have clicked purchase or learn more. So this is how much it costs to beta test a version of this game, a mode in this game that will be free later. $40 for the standard edition or $60 for the deluxe edition. Let's see what you get with the deluxe edition. Now let's start with standard, okay? Standard edition. You get the Save the World campaign. The storm came without warning and 98% of the world's population vanished, blah, 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 blah. Then came the monsters. All right, so you're paying for the monsters. You and up to 4 players lead the world's remaining heroes into a battle to save survivors and hold back the monsters' horde. It's a horde mode. It's a horde mode. $40 to beta test a horde mode. Coolman says, can't believe Fortnite is still popular. Yeah, man. I tell you. I talk a lot of crap about this game. I honestly play this game for the people that just like to watch Fortnite. And I don't hate the game. It's not a bad game. It could be fun, but I don't know. I got lots I could play. Anything you guys... I got Counter-Strike Go. I could play that, too, if you guys want to see me suck at Counter-Strike Go. Okay, so the standard Founders Pack includes access to Save the World PvE campaign and 4 exclusive in-game banner icons. Holy crap, hold on. You guys hear that? $40 gets you 4 exclusive icons. People, man, they got people by the balls, man. They like, if somebody's addicted to this crap, like, I'm making a joke. I'm laughing at 4 exclusive in-game icons, but there's somebody that's like, oh shit, 4 exclusive in-game icons? I gotta buy that. But I'm not gonna buy this standard edition crap. I'm gonna buy the $60 deluxe edition, even though that mode is going to be free later this year, according to Epic. You can beta test it with bugs right now and get your 4 exclusive icons. And then, of course, the exclusive Founders Loot Pinata Pack. Can't beat that. Look at that. Purchase button right there. It's so easy. Let's see what you get for $60. So, you know, you got your same little story about how this is a glorified horde mode. And then you get all the same stuff, except now you get a rare starter hero pack with 8 heroes. That's where your $60 is going, bro. And then you get a rare starter pack that includes 4 weapons and 1 trap. These aren't exclusives, though, right? This is just something that's included. Now here you go. Here's the exclusive. Exclusive Founders Pistol. 10 exclusive in-game icons. Boop, boop, boop. 10 exclusive in-game icons. Only for $60. You guys gotta be kidding me. They're practically giving it away. You got 4 Founders Loot Pinata Packs. When they say that, right? That's a loot box, except it's a pinata, right? I'm just reading that. They use the word loot because they can't just shy away completely from loot or box or crate, because they need that word, that keyword. It might turn people away like me. It might turn people like me away, right? If I hear loot or crate, I know what that is. But there's other people who hear loot or crate and they know what it is too, except they get excited. They're like, yo, loot boxes, that's my thing. That's my adrenaline. That's my dopamine rush. Coolman says, I saw kids playing Fortnite at a McDonald's on their iPads. Yeah, man, it's popular. Play it on your phone, your iPad, with terrible controls. I'd much rather play it this way. But kids prefer the touch screens. Coolman says it shows people are addicted to this game. Yeah, man. You got this company with the balls to charge $60 for a horde mode. You got a 10 XP boost. I don't know what that means. Like 10, like what is the boost rate? 10 givable XP boost for friends. So you could be the man. Yo, my boy. He paid $60 for the deluxe edition Founders Pack of this horde mode. And he hooked me up with an XP boost, man. That's my boy. 50 extra vault inventory slots. Alright, guys. No. That's going to be a hard pass for me. I guess I'm going to free mode. Battle Royale. Oh, I guess it's my fault, right? Because I clicked on Save the World. Shows you how often I play this game. I clicked on Save the World because it was the first option. I'm like, okay, yeah, save the world, right? No. Nope. Can you guys... I don't even know how loud Fortnite is for you, but if you want me to kick up the volume, I can do that. But yeah, we got things to talk about. We got things to talk about today. A little bit. If you want to chip into the conversation, feel free. Let me just get this little ping on here. Once, I'm just trying to get the viewers flowing. So, you guys having a good... What day is it? Wednesday? Wednesday in freedom time? I guess other countries in this big blue globe are living in the future at this point. You guys are in Thursday land, right? Okay, sorry about this. Let's get started. Let's just get started. Yeah, we got lots to talk about. But, yeah, cool, man. You're 100% right. People love this game. You know, this is, like, one of the less... I mean, like, I just spent, like, the last, 10 minutes trash-talking their $60 beta. But for the most part, this game is not as egregious as some companies, like little company known as Electronic Arts. You might know them better under their government name, which is EA Games. And you know, they like they're more into the pay to win model. Now they've had to do some backtracking on that after the Star Wars Battlefront 2 fiasco, but not completely. FIFA is still a joke. Madden is probably a joke. I know they're UFC or MMA games, whatever they're doing. I think they do UFC now. A joke when it comes to the microtransactions. Freaking joke. But this game, it's free still, so you can't knock it completely. It's still free, and it's not a pay-to-win scheme. All the microtransactions are cosmetic or dances or voice packs or whatever. It's not pay-to-win. Coolman says, I've been watching horror movies to get into the Halloween spirit. What movies? What horror movies you watching? Because I like a good horror movie. I've been trying to think of some good horror movies myself to watch. Last one I saw, it was kind of horror. I guess you could classify it as horror. It's fairly recent. It's called Mom and Dad. Stars Nick Cage and I believe Selma Blair. And it was pretty good. It was directed by the guy who directed the Crank movies. And he also directed Gamer, but I never saw Gamer because I thought it looked kind of corny. But, yeah, if you've seen the Crank movies, at least, and maybe Gamer, you know that this director likes to have fun. It gets kind of crazy. What am I doing here? This is news, okay? Do I just go to lobby, right? Too much going on. They're making this too... They're trying to sell me too much crap. Like, they don't have enough money. Coolman says EA became lazy. Yes. Yes, they did. Yeah. I don't know. What horror movies you watching right now? Last one I saw in theaters was It. And I don't know. I guess, you know, there's been some recent ones like The Nun, which is part of the, I guess The Conjuring is a cinematic universe now, right? It's like a whole freaking Marvel or DC joint. You got The Conjuring, The Nun, Annie Origins, Conjuring 2, now The Nun. But, no, I think I've only seen the Conjuring movies out of that series. But yeah, I like good horror. You know, horror is usually, like, if you like go on Netflix, for example, and you go to the horror section, horror category, it's usually just a bunch of crap. Just a bunch of crap that you haven't heard of. And, alright. Is there a way to change my character? I feel like I'm always the same character. But maybe I just... don't play enough. All right, let's do this thing. But yeah, EA's been a problem. All right, let's get to some news here. First thing I wanted to talk about was a movie, a video game movie called Monster Hunter. You might know the director. He's directed a couple other video game movies. Actually, several other video game movies. And I'm not talking about, what's his face? German guy who directed the, a lot of bad movies. Oh, jeez. Like, it's all just escaping me right now. I'm sure I could find him. You know, he boxed. He's notorious for boxing fans that hate him and his movies and talk trash about him. Coolman says, so far I watched the Scream movies and watched Night of the Living Dead and Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Hey. Okay. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I could dig it. I think I've seen just the first 2 Scream movies. I might have seen the third one. I can't remember. I know I haven't seen the last one that came out a couple of years ago. How was it? Night of the Living Dead. I remember that being pretty good. And I haven't seen Halloween 3, although I wanted to because I know it's completely different than the first 2 Halloweens. Like it's its whole separate thing. Whole separate story. Okay, so I'm about to go through this Ring of Fire. I wonder what that gets me. Nothing. I get nothing for going through the Ring of Fire. Absolutely nothing. And now I got this dude behind me, just ready to try to kill me. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Alright, so, yeah, Monster Hunter the movie, being directed by Paul W.S. Anderson of Resident Evil movie fame. Crap, 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 crap. No. Alright, I guess this is what I'm doing now. This is my life. No. They're gonna shoot me and they're gonna kill me. It's taken, except I'm completely innocent. She's like, wherever you are, I will find you. And I will kill you. Or not, you know. Maybe they're like, yo, this idiot only has a... What am I jumping on? Is this water bouncing? Oh, hell yeah. Cult of Chucky. Coolman says he also saw Cult of Chucky. Yeah. I saw that last year, I think. Yeah, it was on Netflix. And I was like, yeah, let's check that out. Was it last show? Last stream? Yeah, we were talking about Chucky. Because, oh, no. It wasn't last stream. You know, well, I might as well just start talking about this now. I did a test run on the podcast and talked about Chucky because Cult of Chucky. I was surprised when the movie that came before Chucky was Cult of Chucky was what was it called? Oh man, I need this health. There was a movie that came before Cult of Chucky, and it was it wasn't a reboot. It turned out I thought it was going to be a reboot, but it was actually a sequel. As I was watching, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a sequel to every other Chucky movie. There had never been a reboot. But that's all over now. They are rebooting Chucky. And the people involved, because remember, they had just done sequel after sequel for decades, right? And they had breaks. They had several years of breaks. But they, oh man, this looks fun. Should I get in on this party with my weak guns? That treasure chest wasn't very treasury, was it? I hear somebody. Somebody's breaking in. Uh-oh. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I got exploded. Kurt, okay, thank you. Thank you, cool man. That movie, the movie before Cult of Chucky was called Curse of Chucky. And it was decent, I thought. I thought it was decent. And then Cult of Chucky, I like that one too. But they are rebooting Chucky, finally. I was surprised because, like I said, that series had been going on for decades. A horror franchise, a popular horror franchise, managed to start in the early 80s and make its way all the way up to 2017 without a reboot. But that's all over now, thanks to MGM. And they have a new plan. Like I said, the people who were involved in the Chucky movies, like the guy who played Chucky, who voiced Chucky for all these years, he'd been the same guy this whole time. He's gone. The creator of the Chucky movies, the director, he's gone. They're not happy about it. They don't support it. At least that's what I gather. And they're gonna reboot it. And remember, if you haven't watched the Chucky movies or a Child's Play, the first one's called Child's Play, and they're rebooting it. The remake is called Child's Play. Chucky was a serial killer, a human being serial killer who liked to practice voodoo, you know, like you do. Anybody. It's just a common thing, especially in Western world. People like to practice voodoo. We all know somebody, right? And he's about to get nabbed by the coppers, and he got shot, I believe, and so he's gonna die, possibly. And so he does what anybody who practices voodoo would do, and he transports his soul into the nearest Mattel toy he could find, which is Chucky. I forgot what it was called. Like my friend, I forgot what was Chucky's the corporate name for that doll called. I forgot. But that's not the case anymore. The reboot is not going to be. It's not going to involve voodoo, at least according to the rumor mill. Instead, they're going with a much more modern take, which is that Chucky is not embodied by the soul of a serial killer. No, he is the results of AI, artificial intelligence gone wrong. So, he's a robot. Chucky is now a robot. I feel like that takes away a huge part of what Chucky is because, you know, I mean, and don't get me wrong, good guy doll. Thank you, cool man. You seem to know a lot. But also you just watched Cult of Chucky, so that's probably fresh in your mind. But yeah, Chucky was called the good guy doll. He wasn't a very good guy, was he? And like I said, it's dumb, right? Like the whole idea is it's dumb, but you know, it's horror. Horror is often dumb. But it is like a fun kind of dumb, not like usually, right? I mean, I'm sure there was some bad Chucky movies, but some might argue that they're all bad. Coolman says Chucky is my favorite horror icon. He's pretty good. I feel like wow, I got a hit there. I feel like I'm not excited for this reboot though. I don't know. Because I don't want to spoil Cult of Chucky. I'm not going to spoil it. But the movie, at the end, goes nuts. And is set up for a sequel. Like a crazy sequel. Like a crazy sequel. And we're not going to get it. We're not going to get it. It actually said, like, I was like, how are they going to do this? And they're just not. I guess they thought the same thing. They said, well, we can't do this. It's going to be ridiculous. So they won't. You know it's all ridiculous, right? It's all ridiculous, but they just don't want to do it. I think they just want that quick money, that quick attention. Like, oh, Child's Play is being rebooted. But, c'est la vie. C'est la vie. But like I said, we're talking Monster Hunter, because that's getting a movie from Paul W.S. Anderson, director of Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil movie, all the way up to the 97th Resident Evil movie. That was called Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, Resident Evil 97. And now that Resident Evil is done, even though I think they're rebooting it, possibly with the same director, I can't remember. Anyway, he's moved on to new pastures new video game franchise from Capcom. And, you know, of course, since he made those Resident Evil movies on a shoestring budget, probably a lower budget compared to something like your Marvel sort of movie, right? It's not like a giant budget. He made them on a relatively low budget, and they generated a relatively large amount of profit. So Capcom liked that. Whatever studio produced those movies liked it. I can't remember which studio produced them. But from all accounts, those movies aren't very good. And I've only seen, I think, a handful of his movies. I saw Alien vs. Predator. I believe he did the same. I believe that was him. And I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of Alien vs. Predator. Not very much, at least. I saw that at a prime age to see that, too. That came out when I was a teenager, so you'd think I'd be all over it. And I was all over the idea, but I just didn't like the execution that much. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of his movies. You know, not to hate on the guy, but not a big fan of his movies. Anyway, he's directing Monster Hunter the movie. Capcom liked his results from those Resident Evil movies, and they're going to keep on using the guy. He's like, hey, I need work. I need money. And so he's casting his wife, Mila Jovovich, however you pronounce her name. You might know her from her role in all 97 Resident Evil movies. So she will, of course, be in Monster Hunter, the movie. She's a perfect fit. And, of course, with Mila Jovovich in your Monster Hunter movie, you also have to have Ron Perlman of Sons of Anarchy fame and a lot of other things. He's in a lot of good stuff. And some not so good stuff. Soon to be Monster Hunter, probably. And T.I. Tip Harris. You might know him for his music or his run-ins with the law. T.I. cannot legally own a gun anymore. He's not too happy about that anyway. So yeah, we got an all-star cast of Mila Jovovich, Ron Perlman, and T.I. Tip Harris. This is the kind of cast that you see on every dream wish list for a Monster Hunter movie. Or any movie, of course. You've always wanted to see Mila Jovovich team up or against T.I. Tip Harris. This is going to be good. Coolman says, I never played Monster Hunter. Neither have I. No, that's not true. I played a little bit of Monster Hunter. But I've played enough of it to learn that it is not my cup of tea. And maybe I would like Monster Hunter World more. But when I listen to like gaming podcasts and they talk about it, they're like, oh, I've only put in like 80 hours into it. So I'm just scratching the surface. When I hear that kind of talk, I'm out. Like, I just can't do it with these like huge time sinks. Like, if I will put hundreds of hours into a game if I really like the game. But I'm not going to put in 5, 6, 7 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours just to wait for the game to get good. And that's a common problem with RPGs. So, like, when it comes to RPGs, I'm kind of casual with it. I'll take South Park, I'll take Pokemon over something like Final Fantasy or Monster Hunter or something more egregious, like something that, I mean, Monster Hunter's pretty demanding of time, but like an MMORPG, for example, Final Fantasy 11, nah. Final Fantasy 14, nah. World of Warcraft, I just can't. But yeah, Monster Hunter it's gaining fame, but I feel like Capcom might be jumping the gun a little bit, right? First of all, this movie is going to cost $60 million. That's their budget. A $60 million budget. And like I said, it's not like a $200 million budget you might see on something like an Avengers movie, right? And that even costs more than that now. But $60 million is nothing to sneeze at. And when you factor in that when they say the budget of a movie is $60 million, it's usually almost twice that. Because it costs $60 million, around $60 million to make the movie. You know, that pays for your actors, your director, the crew, the locations, stuntmen, visual effects designers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, sound design, all that. That's your $60 million. But it doesn't factor in for the cost of marketing. So commercials, posters, trailers, all of that stuff costs extra. And the math usually comes out to about almost twice as much. So it might cost around $110 million. That's maybe $100 million, depending on how well Capcom markets the game, right? Or the movie. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And they're really banking on a lot of people wanting to see Monster Hunter starring Mila Jovovich and T.I. and Ron Perlman together. Who knows? Maybe this Paulie W.S. Anderson is going to prove me wrong. Maybe he's just going to knock it out of the park and make the best Monster Hunter movie imaginable. But I read a brief synopsis on like the plot. It's just like this generic story where it's just like regular Western dude finds out he's some important person and he needs to stop the monsters or something because the world's fate is at his hands. You know, all these movies, it's always the entire world's fate is in this person's hands. That's kind of why I like the Ant-Man movies, because they're kind of a break from that Marvel formula where it's, or just superhero formula where it's just, you know, the most critical stakes are at stake. The most critical, yeah, I guess stakes. Like the stakes are high, right? Like Avengers, like the fate of the entire universe is at stake. The last Avengers movie. The fate of the entire universe, not just the world, the fate of the entire universe is at stake. And it sounds like this Monster Hunter movie might be going in that direction. So, who knows? Maybe it'll be good. History says no. And I'm not sure that they're going to make enough or any money on this thing. I think World of Warcraft, the movie, lost money. People said, oh, China was going to save that movie because it did well in China, but did poorly everywhere else. But they ain't. You don't hear about World of Warcraft 2, World of Warcraft 3. You're not seeing those movies. So you could throw a big budget at a load of crap. Like you can polish a turd, but at the end of the day, you could still lose all your money or most of it. In which case, then they're not going to want to make a sequel. So I feel like Capcom said, "Yo, this dude's got a track record. We made 97 Resident Evil movies with this guy, and they've all been profitable. So history says it's gonna do well for us. We don't care what he does with the story or who he casts. This is what's up." And speaking of Ron Perlman, he played Hellboy. He did a good job as Hellboy. Like I said, he was in Sons of Anarchy, but he was the original Hellboy in the movies. And we got a new Hellboy movie coming out. It's been delayed to April 2019. I didn't realize it was coming out before that initially, so that's cool. It's got the guy who plays the sheriff in Stranger Things. He's playing Hellboy. And I think all we've seen is him in character in full makeup, and it looks pretty good. But yeah, we got a little bit more to talk about here. Moving on from the Monster Hunter movie, Star Wars is getting a VR game for the Oculus Rift. I got an Oculus Rift right there. You can't see it. I'm just kind of pointing. It looks like I'm just pointing at a empty wall. But over there, there's a shelf with an Oculus Rift on it. I got sensors. I got sensors to prove it. There's a sensor right there. It's plugged in, so I don't want to yank it. And I don't know if it's just coming out for the Oculus, but the trailer shows it for the Oculus. And it's called Vader Immortal, Episode 1. So it's going to be an episodic series, it sounds like. But you hear Star Wars and Episode 1 together, it's kind of scary. But yeah, that's happening. There's a trailer. Honestly, I want to show you the trailer. I'm kind of nervous to do it now, just because last time I showed some trailers on this channel, got banned from streaming for 3 months. Thanks to Ubisoft and every other company on their live stream. Thank you, by the way, Ubisoft. Thank you for that. Coleman says, I've never seen Hellboy. From what I remember, the original 2 Hellboy movies were pretty good. I remember really liking the second one, especially. But they were pretty good. They were directed by Guillermo del Toro, and he did some good movies. He's done a lot of good movies. He did last movie he did was the woman that falls in love with the fish man. What was that called? Jeez, I'm really nailing it with the names today, huh? The Shape of Water. But he also did a great movie. It's in Spanish, but it's a great movie if you can either understand Spanish or read subtitles in your native language. It's called, I'm going to find this for you because you should see this movie. Let's see. Just going to search up Mr. Del Toro, Guillermo. Man, I can't believe I don't remember this movie. I own it. Pan's Labyrinth. Oh, and Pacific Rim. He did the first Pacific Rim movie, which was good. Pan's Labyrinth. If you guys haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth, check it out. It's like a fairy tale kind of story, and I say that, but that sounds lame, right? Oh, it's a fairy. You want me to go watch a fairy tale movie in Spanish? Great, Chris. No, it's an R-rated fairy tale movie in Spanish. It's got a lot of horror elements, actually. Come to think of it, since we've been talking about horror, so I highly recommend it. Definitely check that out if you have not already. But yeah, so he directed the first 2 Hellboy movies, and they were good. But they're also PG-13, and this new one is supposed to be rated R. But you know what else is supposed to be rated R? Venom. That's now PG-13, so who knows? Studio might chicken out on that as well. But it's called Hellboy. I feel like it should be rated R. But that's just me and my fair, honest, unbiased thoughts. But yeah, Star Wars. Star Wars, or it's called Vader Immortal, which is an interesting name. I'd like to know what you guys think about it. And like I said, I want to show you the trailer, but I'm kind of nervous to do so. What am I doing here? I'm missing something. There it is, the chat. Yeah, let me get back to this. Look at this guy. It's being shrunken in on. Oh, I could pretend like I'm playing here. This is me. I'm doing very well, as you can see. But yeah, it's a Star Wars VR game. I think it's the first Star Wars VR game as far as I'm aware. And that's a big deal. I know Disney is experimenting, and I think actually actively in development of a Star Wars VR game for their Star Wars land at Disneyland and Disney World. But they're going to charge for that. Like it sounds like, because I read that Disneyland is doing a Star Wars VR experience, but it's like 10 minutes long, and you don't see that. You don't ever see a ride at any amusement park that is 10 minutes long. And there's a reason for that. It's because they want to keep the line moving. They don't want you there for 10 minutes. Besides just keeping the line moving, they'd like to get you out so you can buy more stuff. But this is going to be like 10 minutes long or something like that, something long. And the reason is because they're actually going to charge you extra money. So you can go to Disneyland, but it's not included with the price of going to Disneyland. You have to pay extra money to do so. Kuhlman says it's weird that Star Wars is Disney now. Yeah. Yeah, it is weird. I don't know. I mean, we get a lot more Star Wars content than we were when Lucas owned Star Wars. But... or Fox, I guess. I don't know. I guess Lucas owned the rights to Star Wars because he got $4 billion when he sold it to Disney. I don't know. But yeah, I feel weird about Disney owning everything now that they own Fox. Because Disney, they do weird stuff. Stuff that I don't like a lot of the times. Like, they banned smoking. About 5, 6, 7 years ago. I can't remember when. But they banned smoking characters. They banned their characters, good or bad, from smoking on screen in any movie. I think in any TV show. And the only exception is if it's like a key element to the character's story. Probably about how smoking is bad. Something like that. And I don't smoke. I'm not a smoker, right? But I don't want smoking. I don't want companies, huge, mega conglomerate companies, media companies, just pretending like smoking doesn't exist, you know? Like whether it's a G-rated movie or an R-rated movie, if Disney's making it, people aren't going to be smoking. It's just going to be a freaking weird world, right? People are just, like, you just walk around the world and, wow, so interesting. Nobody smokes. Nobody smokes. It's weird. And that's maybe a weird way to criticize the fact that Star Wars is owned by Disney now. But that's the kind of thing that irks me. But we're getting a Vader game in VR. I don't know what it's going to entail, but it's probably going to be in first person, as most VR games are. Makes sense. Oh, check this out. Check this out. This is an up-and-loaded Laser Lemming exclusive right here. Scheduled downtime. Fortnite is going to be out of service tomorrow at 4 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 1 a.m. Pacific Time. Who knew? Okay. Okay. I got one more piece of news that I wrote down here. One more. And maybe you guys have some more news that you'd like to discuss. But Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out at the end of, about a month from now. I think it comes out October 27th, 26th, 27th. And the file size has been revealed via the back of a box. I believe that's how it was revealed. So Sony's got a deal with Take-Two for a Red Dead Redemption 2 bundle for the PlayStation 4 Pro. And you can get a PS4 Pro. Regular black PS4 Pro doesn't look like anything special or bad. You know, a lot of these special editions just look awful. And some look pretty cool. But this one is just a regular black PS4 Pro. And with this bundle, with this box, it was revealed that Red Dead Redemption 2, the file size is going to be 105 gigabytes. Or at least that's what it says is the required amount of space. 105 gigabytes. That's like 2 full AAA games right there, buddy. Some people are speculating, saying, well, I think Sony requires you to have twice as much space as what the game asks for. So if the game needed 52 megabytes or 52 gigabytes, it would say you need 104 gigabytes. I don't know how accurate that is, but it's a crazy amount of space. And you can't fit 105 gigabytes on a Blu-ray disc, which is how most people are going to be playing this game, is off of a Blu-ray disc. A dual-layered Blu-ray disc can hold 50 gigabytes. So, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Is there really going to be a 50-plus gigabyte download required at launch? Wouldn't it be the first time? I think that Halo Master Chief Collection, I think that had like a 40 or 50 gigabyte download at launch, but that game was a mess at launch. So, Coleman says, I hope they make Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare 2. Man, I haven't even, I beat Red Dead Redemption 2. I never got to play the Undead Nightmare. I always wanted to, but I've heard nothing but good things. And I would love for them to do it. I would love for them to do it. And I feel like it would be a missed opportunity if they don't do it. But I'm not sure that they will. Just because they, what happens when I deposit? What do I get for depositing these things? Oh, crap. I get shot in the back. You coward. You coward. What was I saying? Yeah, oh, the Undead Nightmare 2. That would be great. I mean, assuming they do it well. And they might. Here's the reason I think there's a chance they might do it. Because of the popularity of Grand Theft Auto 5 online. The game is so popular online, it makes Rockstar so much money. That's why they just abandoned all their plans for single-player add-on DLC. They had plans for it. They abandoned it because they were just making too much money not doing that. It's a lot easier just doing online events, I guess, versus... that was a cool scope. Versus... trying. That's the word I was thinking. Trying. Granted, I've played several hours of Grand Theft Auto 5, but I've never played the online mode, so I don't know. It might be awesome. And it must be pretty fun, right, if people are playing so much of it. But the popularity of Grand Theft Auto 5 online is the reason I think they might do some kind of Undead Nightmare. They could do like what Fortnite's doing, a horde mode, and maybe not charge $60 to beta test it. The online mode in Red Dead Redemption 2, which was announced recently, doesn't launch until November. So it's not quite done, I'm assuming. Because if it was done, I'm sure they would have loved to have that out at launch just to start raking in that microtransaction money as quick as possible. You best believe they're going to have plenty of that. I wonder what the conversion rate of their virtual currency is going to be in... Oh, look. A loot pinata. I wonder what their conversion rate of DLC is going to be... What am I saying? Oh, conversion rate of their virtual currency is going to be in Red Dead Redemption 2. Because, you know, you're playing a Western game set in the 1800s. They weren't exactly dealing with hundreds and thousands of dollars. Let's say thousands of dollars on a daily basis, right? And all these virtual currencies are like a Take-Two game. Virtual currency is like... Or this game. Let's use this game. 10,000 VC points or whatever they call them in this game is $10. $10 get you 10,000 V-Bucks. How are they going to do that in Red Dead Redemption 2? They can't really dazzle you with that. Are they going to say like, oh yeah, you know, in the single player game, buying a a medical kit or something cost you $2 because $2 was a lot of money back then. But online, we're going to give you $20,000 for $20. 20,000 virtual currency dollars for 20 US dollars. I don't know. Is that a rant that was worth your time? Coolman says Undead Nightmare was a good game for the four horsemen of the apocalypse are in it, and so is the Chupacabra. Oh man, I wish I had played that. Damn, I always wanted to too. I just never did. Shit. That's cool. Yeah, I feel like they could definitely incorporate it. I'm just kind of worried that they would screw it up somehow, make it greedy. A lot of companies bring things back, and they bring it back with a tainted design or a predatory design, like EA. EA's and Activision are predators. They're predator developers. Lots of people, I mean, even Epic with Fortnite to a certain extent has some predatory practices. But EA and Activision are really bad. Warner Brothers, really bad. Like they've gotten to this point where the soul is gone from their development. They don't care about the integrity of the game at all anymore. It's just about how can we get people, like the idea is to constantly have people forking over more money. The games are not designed to be fun. They're designed to hit that certain dopamine rush and then take it away long enough for you to want to pay them more, and they do it all under the guise of player choice. I'll tell you what a choice is. You have the choice to not design the game to be a slog to get through. Kuma says, there's zombie coyotes and zombie bears and zombie cougars. Stop digging, you struck oil. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. They should do that again. I remember when I played the hell out of Red Dead Redemption, the first one. I knew from like the first trailers, like I was like, this game's gonna be fun. This game's gonna be fun, and it was. It was a blast. I remember like getting near the end of the game, like I spent hours in these stupid mountains looking for beaver pelts, and beavers were like the hardest things to find. And then if you found a bear and you weren't well armed, like you just wanted to run for your life because that thing was gonna kill you. But all of a sudden there's zombie bears, zombie cougars, zombie coyotes. Sounds like fun. I've only seen like little bits and pieces of it. Man, I should play it. See, that is one reason I would like to have an Xbox One in some capacity, because of the backwards compatibility. Like all of a sudden you could play Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare in an up-resed version of it. It just sounds great. Catch up before Red Dead Redemption 2. Sounds like a fun time. Just ain't happening for me though. I just don't have the Xbox. Got a PS4. Got a PS4 Amateur. Spider-Man looks good on my PS4 Amateur. Looks better than I expected. Coolman says you can even ride on the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Damn, man. It's great. It's really fun. Sounds great. Say la vie. I mean, yeah, it would just be like, after you've told me all that, and now you've effectively told the whole world, because we've got close to 1 billion people watching this right now. Everybody knows. So Rockstar would be foolish not to jump on this. That's what I think, anyway. Yeah, that's my Red Dead Redemption 2 piece. But anyway, just want to give a quick update on the podcast. Hold on a sec. Coolman says, glad I still own my PS3 and my copy of that game. You know, that's a great point. I'm talking like, oh, I wish I had an Xbox so I could play Red Dead. You know what I have? I have a PlayStation 3 and a copy of Red Dead Redemption. I could do that. Just don't want to take out the PS3, I guess. I'm too used to more comfortable controllers now. But maybe someday. The game was such a difficult... It had such a rocky development that it's pretty much never coming to PC. Oh, and they said that Red Dead Redemption 2 is not coming to PC. I don't believe them. I don't believe them one bit. Neither should you. But it's just not coming to PC right now. Just like Grand Theft Auto 5 wasn't coming to PC until it did. They're gonna get people to double dip on that game. Coolman says my copy has both games. See, that's yeah, I noticed that. I got Red Dead Redemption at launch, but I was jealous. I was kind of jealous of the people who got it later, because eventually they started bundling Red Dead Redemption with Undead Nightmare. So I was kind of jealous of that, because you could get both at a time. There was a time where you can get both together for like $30. I remember, I have stupid memories of like how much things cost at Walmart. When I don't know. That's the kind of dumb stuff that sticks with you. But yeah, podcast. It's coming. It was all ready, actually. But I'm going to polish it a little more. All the beta test reviews I've gotten have been extremely positive. All one of them. But I want to tweak some things. So that's what I'm going to do. So I don't want this to become a running joke where I say, oh, next week it's going to be up. But I swear, unless I'm dead or in some kind of critical condition, I swear, if somebody hears this right now, if one of the billion people listening to this stream right now hear that and take that as a challenge to try to kill me or put me in some kind of critical condition, I'm going to be pissed or dead. But there's going to be a lot of people that love me that are going to be pissed. So please don't try to harm me. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, podcast is still coming. I'm very excited about it. I just want to come out swinging hard. So I want it to have a good first impression. But I don't want to get stuck in this loop of... it's a problem that perfectionists have. And I'm not a crazy perfectionist, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So I like... If I'm representing it, I want to bring a decent product. That's why you're watching other people play Fortnite better than me right now, because I'm speaking better than I'm playing. So you can watch these people that have forked over lots of money for skins and fancy pickaxes, and I'm talking until the next round. But there's not going to be a next round because we're talking about the podcast, and then we're bouncing tonight. All right, so. Yeah, podcast is coming. Very excited. We're gonna what we're doing right now. We're gonna do a lot of that on the podcast, but there's gonna be more. There's gonna be different segments. It's gonna be broken down by segments. There's gonna be music. There's gonna be surprises, interviews. It's gonna be a good time. But I wanna do it well. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it well. I was gonna say really well, but I want to do it really, really well. And, yeah, I don't want to get stuck in this, like, loop of perfectionism like I'm kind of doing right now with my explanation of why you don't see a podcast or hear a podcast. But I still wanted to have this stream. I still wanted to do this stream with you guys because why not? We should. We deserve to have this moment. So, yeah, I will have more on that. Possibly this weekend. I don't know. I work on Saturday. I'm working all the way through Saturday, and starting Sunday, I've got a break. I've got a week off. That's gonna be great. I don't know where I'm gonna be, how long I'm gonna be there, but for some of that, a lot of that, it's gonna be podcast-tastic. All right, I'm gonna be promoting the hell out of this podcast, and it's gonna be a good time. Like I said, we're gonna talk about games, we're gonna talk about movies, but we're also gonna have different segments and interviews. It's gonna be a fun time, and I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys look forward to that too. And it's been a learning experience, and there's nothing more fun than talking about learning. So I've enjoyed our time, specifically Cool Man and our silent viewer. Thank you guys. I know it was a kind of a quiet podcast, except for myself, who's talking quite often. I work all day, and I talk to people all day. Talk to my wife. But when I do these streams, when I record a podcast, there's no amount of talking that I do like I do here. It's crazy. It's a lot of words. It's a lot of words. Like right now, I feel like it's just word vomit. But with that lovely note, lovely visual I'm giving you right now, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you on social media in the meantime. Follow us if you haven't on UPNLOADED at UPNLOADED on Twitter, and you can like us on Facebook. Search UPNLOADED. That's UPNLOADED. Talking good stuff. Talking good stuff. That's a good promotion for you. You know what? Wife said I'm pointing out my own flaws a lot. So even when I explain that to you, I'm doing it. So I'm going to cut that out. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you again, hopefully this week, but if not, early next week, maybe Sunday or Monday. And we'll have a podcast shortly. So it's going to be good stuff. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe for more. Love you very much. I will see you next time.